Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we uncover the hidden stories in financial filings. Today, we're diving into NexPoint Capital Incorporated's latest report, and it looks like this company is making some moves that are definitely worth a closer look. Make sure you are subscribed for these kinds of insights. And we also have a Discord community where we break down these documents further, so check the link in the description below. So, what is the big news from NexPoint Capital Incorporated, or NCI as we'll call them? Well, it seems they announced a cash distribution to their shareholders. This is basically like the company sharing some of its profits. They declared a distribution of 9 cents per S-share. Now, that might not sound like a lot, but when you own a lot of shares, it adds up. This payment is set for January 23rd, 2026, for shareholders who own the stock on the 31st of December, 2025. But that is not all. They also dropped some information about their net asset value per S-share, which is essentially what each share of the company is worth based on its underlying assets. As of the end of 2025, this value was a solid $4.60 per S-share. This is super important because it tells us how the company values itself and its investments. They also mentioned their Distribution Reinvestment Plan, or DRP. This plan lets shareholders use their cash distributions to buy more shares of the company. The price for these new shares is tied to that net asset value, but with a bit of flexibility, they can't sell it for less than the net asset value, and they can't sell it for more than 2.5% over that value. This is a pretty common practice to make sure new investors are entering at a fair price while also benefiting existing shareholders. Now, any company report worth its salt will include some forward-looking statements. These are basically the company's best guesses about what the future holds. NCI is no different. They're talking about their future performance using words like believes and expects. But here is the crucial part for us as investors. They also throw in a disclaimer. They're saying that while they expect good things, there are always risks and uncertainties. Things could actually turn out differently than they predict. And some of these potential issues are listed in their filings with the Securities and Exchange Commission. Or SEC, they also make it clear they don't plan to update these predictions unless something major happens. It is a standard way for companies to protect themselves legally while still giving investors a peek into their strategic thinking. Finally, we have the signatures, rubber, stamping the authenticity of this report. It is signed by Frank Waterhouse, who holds some pretty key financial titles: Principal Financial Officer, Principal Accounting Officer, and Treasurer. This tells us who is ultimately responsible for the accuracy of these numbers, and that the company is making good on its reporting obligations. So, what is my take on this NexPoint Capital Incorporated filing? We're seeing a company that is actively managing its shareholder distributions, which is generally a positive sign that they're generating profits and want to share them. The net asset value per S-share seems reasonable, and the terms of their reinvestment plan are designed to be fair to all parties involved. The company is forward-looking, as they should be, but they're also being transparent about the inherent risks in their industry. There aren't any bombshells here. No major red flags jumping out at me. It appears to be a company focused on consistent operations and shareholder returns, which is what many investors look for. They are navigating the investment landscape with a clear set of rules for issuing shares and distributing profits. And their principal financial officer is duly authorized and signing off. It is a pretty standard but solid update. Alright, that is our breakdown of NexPoint Capital Incorporated's latest filing. What is your take on these numbers and what they signal for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments if this analysis was valuable and helped you understand what matters. Hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more corporate deep dives. And don't forget to check out our Discord community in the description below for more in-depth discussions and analysis. Thanks for watching. See you next time.